Hey guys, the marble floor of the Crestview Tower lobby gleams under the midday sun, streaming through the glass facade, and the air smells faintly of polished brass and fresh coffee. You're standing there, holding your mop handle like a cane, when the low hum of conversation cuts through with one voice, sharp, amused, and aimed squarely at you. Tell me, the Millionaire CEO says, his tailored suit catching the light like it's woven from arrogance itself. Do they train janitors to fix elevators now, or is this your hobby? A few junior associates standing nearby try to smother their laughter, but it echoes anyway. You feel the burn of it on your back, even though you're facing the elevator doors, which sit stubbornly closed. The service panel's red light blinks like it's in on the joke. Somewhere above, the other cars are frozen, their passengers stuck, their patience wearing thin. The CEO doesn't stop. Maybe we should get a real engineer, or should I just call the manufacturer? This building cost me $500 million, and I'm supposed to trust you? His eyes travel down your coveralls, lingering on the name stitched over your chest, Marcus in faded thread. The lobby falls quiet except for the steady tap of the CEO's handmade leather shoes as he steps closer, his smirk widening. Behind him, the front desk staff try to busy themselves with paperwork, but their eyes keep flicking up, watching. You can feel the weight of every glance. Your grip on the mop loosens. You don't answer, not yet. There's no point trading words when the real answer is locked behind a steel panel just to your right. You crouch, unlatching the access cover with a click that sounds louder than it should. The CEO tilts his head like he's watching a street performer he doesn't expect much from. The hum of the lobby returns, softer now, filled with whispers. Someone near the coffee cart mutters, "He's really going to try it." Another voice chuckles. You look at the tangle of wires and gears behind the panel, and for a split second, the lobby fades. All you see is the machinery, your territory, your language. It's been years since you had your hands inside a system this size, but it's like meeting an old friend who hasn't changed. You reach for your toolkit. Somewhere above, a passenger bangs on the inside of the stuck car. The CEO sighs dramatically, looking at his watch. What happens next will turn that smirk into silence. So before we go any further, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is right now. You slot the screwdriver into the first screw and turn. The sound is steady, confident. This isn't just about fixing an elevator. It's about taking back the room. The click of the screw falling into your palm echoes louder in your mind than the shuffle of expensive shoes and designer heels across the lobby's marble expanse. Every movement you make now feels like it's happening under a magnifying glass. You can feel them watching. Every receptionist, every suit, every passerby who decided today was a good day to grab a latte in the Crestview lobby instead of the corner cafe. Even the security guard near the glass doors leans a little closer, as if your next move might be the opening act to some free lunchtime entertainment. The CEO doesn't leave. He leans against a marble pillar, phone in hand, tapping the screen with casual boredom. You know, he says without looking up, when the maintenance contract expired, I told my assistant to renew with the company that actually knew what they were doing. He glances your way. Guess they were busy today. The laughter from the nearby interns is soft, but it carries. You don't react, not outwardly. You've been in rooms like this before, rooms where people measure your worth before you even speak, rooms where your skin, your job title, or the name stitched on your uniform decides your value in their eyes. You kneel down, setting your toolbox open beside you. Inside is everything you've kept in perfect order for years. Old tools with worn handles, each with a story. The insulated pliers your father gave you when you were 17. The precision voltage tester you bought after your first paycheck as an apprentice. Someone to your left whispers, "He's not even using the building's gear. Look at that, rusty tools." Another voice, probably one of the front desk clerks, murmurs back, "Yeah, but he looks like he knows what he's doing." Your hands move with quiet precision, disconnecting the main control relay, laying the wires across your knee like strands of an old violin bow. You tilt your head, listening. The system is more than metal and current. It's a conversation between gears, sensors, and brakes. And right now, it's telling you exactly where it's hurting. Above, the thump of someone impatiently hitting the emergency stop button sends a faint vibration through the shaft. A woman's voice, muffled by floors, shouts, "Is anyone fixing this thing?" You glance up, following the shaft lines in your mind. 3 cars, all frozen, mid-level, one of them holding the CEO's personal guests, a detail you know because you overheard his secretary panicking into the phone 10 minutes ago. The CEO checks his Rolex. "You've got 5 minutes before I call someone else," he says, raising his voice just enough for the lobby to hear. "The statement isn't for you, it's for them. It's a public clock, ticking down your credibility." You don't look up. "Then you'd better start dialing," you say quietly, your voice steady. The words land in the space between you like a challenge no one expected. From the corner of your eye, you see the CEO's smirk falter, just a hair. The crowd shifts, a few people exchanging quick glances. Somewhere in the group, a young delivery guy mutters, "Man's got guts." You reconnect the relay, fingers moving faster now. This is where the pressure stops being a weight and starts being fuel. You feel the click of the contactor snapping into place, a good sign, but you keep your face neutral. The last thing you want is to tip them off too soon. The hum of the motors upstairs is still silent. The crowd's focus tightens, breaths held. Even the barista behind the cafe counter is frozen mid-pour. And then softly, so softly you might miss it, comes the faint buzz of current re-entering the system. It's the kind of sound only someone who knows machines listens for. You smile, just barely. The faint hum threads its way up the elevator shaft, barely audible under the muted sounds of the lobby. To anyone else, it's nothing, white noise in a building full of machines. But to you, it's a heartbeat, slow and cautious, testing itself after a long rest. You lean closer to the panel, eyes tracking the old circuit like it's a map you've walked 1,000 times. You don't need the blueprints, they're already in your head. It's not because you fixed a dozen elevators like this, though you have. It's because you designed one almost exactly like it 20 years ago, back before your name was replaced by someone else's on the patent filing. Back before Marcus was a respected engineer in a crisp suit rather than Marcus in a janitor's uniform. You trace the line from the main relay to the door control module, remembering the day you first sketched this design on a yellow legal pad. The pencil smudges, the eraser shavings, the excitement that made your hands shake a little. You were younger then, hungry, believing skill alone could carry you through a world that didn't always see you. A crack of laughter snaps you back. The CEO has started talking to one of the interns loud enough for you to hear. He's crouched there like a kid trying to hotwire a car, he says, chuckling. I almost want to see him try to run this whole system. Almost. You reconnect a set of leads and glance toward the shaft. The hum grows stronger now, like a voice clearing its throat. A few people in the lobby notice. One woman, holding a coffee cup in both hands, leans forward and whispers, "Something's happening." You keep moving, swapping out a burned fuse for one you've kept in your kit for years. It's not standard issue. You made it yourself from high-grade copper, a piece you'd rather keep than sell. The copper's surface gleams against your palm as you slide it in place. Your mind drifts to the last time you saw an elevator like this, an older model in Detroit, in a building that had been marked for demolition. You'd gone there as a favor to a friend, just to see if the lift could be brought back to life before the wrecking crews came. It had. And for 3 more weeks, it carried people who had no idea. It was running on borrowed time. That's what this one feels like now. A machine that wants to work, if someone will just listen to it. Above you, the dull clang of shifting counterweights makes the crowd stir. Heads turn toward the closed doors, as if they might open any second. The CEO steps closer, just far enough to see over your shoulder. You really think you can get this thing running without the building's maintenance team? I don't think, you say quietly. I know. The words hang there. Not loud, not shouted, just certain. And in that certainty, the first real crack appears in his expression. The system gives a low, resonant hum, like a bass note struck in a quiet room. It's not ready yet, but it's breathing. You know the next move, and it's the one they won't see coming. The vibration starts in the soles of your boots, a low tremor that hums up through the marble floor. At first, it's so subtle that only you can feel it, but then a faint metallic groan echoes from deep inside the shaft, and the lobby falls into silence. Someone in the back mutters, "Wait, did it just, You don't answer. You stay crouched, tightening one last set of connections, the screwdriver handle warm in your hand from the speed and force of your work. You slide the panel shut with a soft click, and the hum grows steadier, richer. It's the sound of a sleeping giant shifting in its bed. The CEO steps closer, his loafers stopping just shy of your tool bag. "What did you just do?" he asks, voice still casual but thinner now, like a silk thread pulled too tight. You don't look up. "Gave it something it hasn't had in a long time. Attention." The words land heavier than they should. A couple of the lobby staff exchange glances. One of the security guards leans forward, arms resting on the podium, eyes fixed on the elevator doors. Then, thunk. The sound is deep, mechanical, unmistakable. Every head swivels toward the far end of the lobby where one of the elevator cars shutters, its doors parting just an inch before snapping shut again. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Someone whispers, "No way!" You step back, resting on your heels, watching the shaft like a conductor waiting for the orchestra to find the tempo. The system's old, but it's not broken. It's waking up piece by piece like a puzzle finding its missing corner. Above, a voice cries out from inside one of the stuck cars. "We're moving!" "Wait, yes, we're definitely moving." The CEO's head jerks up at that. For the first time, his composure falters. You catch a flicker of something in his eyes. Recognition, not of you, but of the fact that you're doing what his preferred team couldn't. The elevator car's floor display blinks to life, first a faint 3, then 2, then L. When the doors open fully, the lobby inhales as one. Inside, a group of well-dressed guests step out, their relief giving way to curiosity, as they see you, still in your coveralls, kneeling beside the open control box. One of them, a silver-haired woman in a silk scarf, looks from you to the CEO. "This is your guy?" she asks him, eyebrows raised. He doesn't answer. You just stand, dusting off your hands, and say quietly, "One down, 2 to go." The lobby feels different now. Just minutes ago, it was a stage for your humiliation. Every chuckle, every smirk aimed squarely at you. Now the air has shifted. The murmurs aren't mocking anymore. They're curious, interested, even impressed. A group of hotel guests gathers closer, craning their necks to watch as you move toward the second elevator panel. The silver-haired woman from the first car keeps staring at you, like she's trying to place your face. She doesn't look away when the CEO steps between you and her line of sight. "All right, he got lucky with one," the CEO says, raising his voice so the room hears. "That doesn't mean he can fix the entire system." His laugh comes out sharper this time, forced. A younger staff member pipes up from the reception desk. "Sir, with all due respect, maintenance has been trying to fix this since yesterday." The CEO's eyes narrow, but he doesn't respond. You can see the control slipping from him. Every working elevator will make it harder for him to frame this as a fluke. You kneel at the second control box, the smell of warm copper and machine oil wrapping around you. This one's trickier. The relay is corroded, a faint green fuzz creeping across the contacts. The kind of thing that happens when a system is neglected for years. You pull a small brush from your kit and sweep the corrosion away, revealing the clean metal underneath. The crowd watches every move. A man in a business suit leans over to the woman beside him. He's not guessing. He knows what he's doing. Somewhere above, the elevator's counterweights shift again. The steel cables hum under tension. You adjust the final connection, the same confidence in your hands that's been there since you were 20 years old when you were the one giving orders in construction sites instead of mopping the floors afterward. Beep. The second car's lights flicker on, glowing a steady green. The floor numbers begin to tick down. 12, 11, 10. The silver-haired woman smiles now, a small, knowing smile, and murmurs to the person next to her, "You can always tell when someone's the real deal." The CEO glances toward the crowd. He senses it, the shift in loyalty, the crack in his image. So he tries again, louder. "Let's not forget, people, he's just the janitor." And that's when it happens. A voice from the back calls out, "And yet he's the only one fixing your problem." Laughter breaks out, not the cruel kind, but the kind that cuts, the kind that tells everyone in the room exactly who's winning this moment. The elevator doors open to another group of guests stepping out, clapping lightly as they pass you. Not a word for the CEO. You stand slowly, meet his eyes, and nod toward the third and final car. "Shall we finish this?" The final elevator looms at the far end of the lobby like a silent challenge. Its brushed steel doors are dull with fingerprints, and the small floor display above it shows nothing. No numbers, no glow, just a blank stare. You walk toward it, your footsteps echoing in the marble hall. The crowd parts without a word, eyes following you. Somewhere in the middle, the CEO shifts his stance, arms folded tight, jaw working like he's chewing on words he can't quite spit out. When you kneel by the third control panel, you already know what's wrong. The faint, acrid scent of burnt insulation reaches you before you even unscrew the panel cover. A blown motor fuse, easy to fix if you have the part, and you do. Because unlike the maintenance contractors who left hours ago, you came prepared. The CEO's voice follows you down to the floor. "You really think you can do all three?" It's less of a taunt now, more of a last defense. You glance up, meet his eyes for a moment, and simply say, "I don't think, I know." A low murmur runs through the crowd. You slide the fuse into place, the metallic click oddly loud in the stillness. Then you reconnect the wires with steady hands, feeling the slight tremor of re-energized circuits. The moment you close the panel, the elevator shivers to life. Lights blaze in the floor display, 8, 7, 6, descending fast. Gasps ripple through the lobby as the final doors slide open, revealing a group of guests inside. They step out cautiously, scanning the room. One of them, a young man in a tailored suit, spots you, grins and says, "Guess we owe you for the rescue." The CEO forces a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. He steps forward, extending his hand. "Well, I suppose I misjudged you, but you don't take it. Not yet." You look around at the lobby, the staff, the guests, the silver-haired woman still watching from the first group you freed, and you say in a calm, even tone, "You didn't misjudge me. You never bothered to look." Silence. Then the first clap comes from somewhere near the reception desk. Another joins in, and another, until the sound fills the space. The CEO lowers his hand. The crowd parts again. Not for him this time, but for you, as you pick up your tools and walk toward the glass doors. Outside, sunlight pours across the steps. You pause, take one last breath of the cool air, and step into the street without looking back. The sun hits your face the moment you step outside, warm and steady, like it's been waiting for you. The street is busy, taxis honk in the distance, a street vendor calls out over the crowd, and the faint hiss of a bus's brakes cuts through the air. But it all feels quieter than the lobby you just left behind. You walk slowly down the marble steps, each one putting more distance between you and the scene inside. Your tool bag feels heavier now, not because of its weight, but because of everything it represents. The years of skill, the knowledge you carried quietly while others overlooked you. Behind you, through the lobby glass, you see movement. The CEO is still there, standing alone now, the crowd dispersed. He's staring at you. His hand rests on the reception desk like he's leaning for support. You don't give him more than a glance. At the curb, a little boy tugs at his mother's sleeve and points at you. "Is that the man who fixed the elevators?" She smiles and nods. The boy gives you a small wave. You raise a hand in return, and for the first time today, you let yourself smile back. A city bus pulls up, its doors opening with a soft sigh. As you step inside, the driver nods at you. "Heard about what happened in there. Good work." You take a seat near the back, the sunlight still spilling through the window, catching dust motes in the air. As the bus pulls away, the building you left behind shrinks into the distance, its mirrored glass reflecting the afternoon sky. You don't need applause, or a handshake, or even an apology. You've got something better, the knowledge that when it mattered, you were the one who could get it done. And that's worth more than any title. The bus turns down a side street, the light shifts, and you close your eyes for just a moment, letting the rhythm of the city carry you forward. Word count, 1,042, 300-word wind down. The day moves on, the noise of the city becoming softer with each passing block. Your seat on the bus feels like a small island of calm, the hum of the engine blending with the muffled chatter of passengers. Outside, buildings glide by, bathed in the golden light of late afternoon. You think about the faces you saw, some surprised, some respectful, some quietly inspired. You think about the hands-on work, the way metal and wires seem to speak if you listen long enough. You think about how dignity isn't something people can give or take from you. It's something you carry, and today, you carried it right past every insult and doubt. The bus slows at a light, and through the window you catch sight of a street musician, her fingers dancing over the strings of a battered guitar. She's not playing for recognition, but because she can, because she wants to. And in that moment, you understand each other perfectly. When the bus moves again, the streets grow quieter. The sun dips lower, painting everything in a softer, warmer hue. You lean back, let your head rest, and breathe deeply. The tension in your shoulders has melted away. Somewhere behind you in that grand lobby, life has already returned to its usual pace. But you know one thing for certain, the next time they see you, they won't just see a janitor. They'll see the person who fixed what no one else could. And as the city carries you home, the only sound you really need is the quiet satisfaction in your own chest.